This video is for popular demand. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of doing a mock draft review of Chad Reuter's mock draft 2.0, where he had a 4-round mock draft. I focused only on the first round, but Broncos country was kind of all over the place in terms of how they felt about the projected trade that we made in the draft. So what had happened was, and we'll go ahead and pop this up here and I will recap it. We'll talk about the overall feelings of it and how I think the overall trade itself could have been a lot better and a lot more valuable had we actually done a better job with the third round and the fourth round picks, which we ultimately didn't make. So guys, if you love NFL draft content, if you love Denver sports, it'll help me a lot if you smash the subscribe button, like the video. I'm so close to my goal of getting to 1,000 subs before the NFL draft. We are a month away. So let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. I got some really great content cooking up for y'all. So let's go ahead and look at what Chad Reuter's overall mock did. So what happened is we traded pick number 20 and our second round pick, pick number 51. And then we received the Dallas Cowboys fifth round pick, number 159. And what we ended up doing is we traded up to 12 and we selected Tyler Warren, who we all know is the tight end from Penn State, who I thought was a great pick. But then in pick number round 3, we took Princey Omanmielen, the edge rusher, and who I think is a good player, but he's just ain't, he ain't all that for me out of Ole Miss. I think he's very worthy of the 85 pick. I think he's actually worthy of going a little bit higher, but I just didn't like the position there, given the huge need that we still had at running back. And Chad decided to take the solve the running back position with Cam Scatterbo in the fourth round, which if y'all watch the channel, you know that I'm not really an uber fan of that. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to kind of give you guys what I would have done. I went into the PFF mock draft simulator. All right. So we did all the work for y'all, man. I put the work in already. And what we did was we just basically copied exactly all the picks that he had to show who was realistically available at this time at pick number 85. So what he ended up doing was taking Princey Omanmielen, right? And when you look at the running backs that are available, I can understand it. He didn't see anybody in here aside from Scatterbo later who was really worth it to be able to take. Like, I love me some DJ Giddens and Devin Neal and Damian Martinez. These three guys specifically for this team, if you're looking for some players that can, come in and be 3 down backs, specifically Devin Neal. So I think taking Devin Neal over Princely here is even a better choice and somebody that I think can make a lot more sense. What I personally still would do, given this exact situation, is I would have taken Alec Ayomanor, who is available. I think he's a bona fide stud wide receiver 2 immediately off the bat for this Denver Broncos team. And, obviously the situation with Cortland Sutton and his contract, we don't know what's going to happen. I think it's ultimately going to get solved, and I think it'll get solved after the draft. But eventually he's going to need to get replaced. Alec Ayomanor has got the ability to be able to do that. It's a really great weapon that's very much needed for Bo Nix, for this team. I also think Jalen Royals would have been a much better pick. Any one of these two guys, I'm totally good with. But Alec Ayomanor at pick number 85 in this particular mock was available. I think it's an absolute no-brainer. And what that ends up doing is it would be able to give us the options of when it comes pick 85, if you wanted to see all the running backs. Now, I know Dylan Sampson was taken, right? Dylan Sampson was gone. And so all the running backs that were available at that time in the 84th pick were still the guys that we had talked about. So give me Alec Ayomanor, give me Devin Neal, or I'd say even give me DJ Giddens in the 4th overall pick. And now what you're looking at is a significantly better outcome. So I'm going to go ahead, copy this over, update this. So now, here, let's do this for y'all, man. So now what we end up doing is, instead of taking Princely Omanmielen, we're going to take Alec Ayomanor. He's the wide receiver out of Stanford. And then instead of taking Cam Scatterbo, you give me some DJ Giddens or Devin Neal, right? Your pick of the litter. I like both of them. I can understand. I like DJ Giddens more as an overall back, but I think Devin Neal might give us a little bit more of what we need because he can give us a little more juice catching the ball out of the backfield. He might be a little bit better of a pass protector. But either one of those guys running backs. Let's just make it simple. We'll say DJ Giddens. I think DJ Giddens is a better running back than what they ultimately gave us with Cam Scatterbo. But Alec Ayomanor, man, can he give us the much needed juice, fill in a need there in the wide receiver room? I don't think our wide receiver room is terrible. I think the Broncos actually really like some of the young guys. But what's nice about him is he's a unique type of a player that we don't really have right now. He could be a replacement eventually for Sutton. He'd be a really good wide receiver too, right off of the bat. I think he's more polished and he could be better immediately than Troy Franklin and maybe even Devon Bailey. But he'll at least give you guys another body, another much needed weapon there. And so you're talking about 3 really good weapons if you're going to justify that trade. Now, I'll tell you guys this. I ain't a big fan of a trade up. I think if you're going to do a trade up, Tyler Warren is certainly one of the guys to do it for. So I can justify that. And if we came out of that draft with Tyler Warren, Princely Umanmielen, and Cam Scatterbo like Chad Reuter had, I wouldn't really be happy with the overall class. Now, obviously, you'd have to see picks, rounds 5 through 7. We have a 5th round pick now, so that'd be interesting. But I wouldn't be the biggest fan of that. But if you came out of that, you made the trade, and you came out with Tyler Warren, Alec Ayomanor, and DJ Giddens, or a Devin Neal with those, 3 picks, and then you filled out the rest, I can get behind that. I love all 3 of those picks, especially given the value and where they were drafted. So, listen, drafts are one of those things. Trading in drafts, one of those things that on the surface it can seem great, and then you look at the big picture and it's not so good, or vice versa. I think this was a really good example of that. So I'm gonna do a few more different mock the mocks of some guys coming up. But what I'm gonna do also is I'm gonna make a video coming up here, probably later today or sometime tomorrow, where it's gonna really break down the best scenarios for the Broncos and why. Talking about staying put at 20, talking about trading up, talking about trading back some different players that we can get. We're going to have some fun with it, so stay tuned for that. But let me know what you guys think below. How would you compare Chad Reuter's mock to mine, given the exact same scenarios with the draft trade? I'd love to know what y'all think. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all make sure to not only subscribe to the channel, but take care of yourselves. Spend time with those that you love the most. And until the next time, take it easy and peace out.